AEW just made a huge change to their commentary team plans. I'm going to tell you guys all about it. Also, on top of that, WWE just made a groundbreaking announcement. I think AEW is going to copy this in the very near future, or at least they should. And on top of that, Liv Morgan reportedly went off script on Monday Night Raw, referencing her friends who got fired and signed with AEW, stuff like that. Nonetheless, what's really interesting is we now know she actually didn't go off script, and we're going to talk about that. All right, guys, if you want more videos like this, don't forget to click that subscribe button, ring the bell, get notified, do all of that good stuff. I bring you daily videos, and on top of that, we are building an awesome community. In the description down below, check out Discord. Okay, so everybody thought Liv Morgan went off script. This was largely due to the fact that she had a very interesting line on Monday Night Raw about her friends getting fired due to Becky Lynch having this major, greedy, big contract, whatever you want to say. This whole line, it was put out there without any impact. I didn't feel the emotion. I didn't feel bad when Liv Morgan said this. And that's the thing. With promos, you got to generate a feeling. I don't think this promo did that for me. But for some reason, a lot of people thought that this specific promo was unscripted because of the nature of the beast referencing AEW. But also on top of that, people thought she went off script because WWE removed the line from video on demand. So if like you go on YouTube and stuff like that, it's not on the YouTube account anymore. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because PW Insider actually came out and said, no, according to several sources, that line likely came from Vince McMahon or somebody on the creative team. Now, in WWE, we talked about this a couple weeks ago about scripts and going unscripted, TV 14, stuff like that. And there are some superstars in WWE who are reportedly without a script. They might have bullet points, they might have to say a couple things, but they're not as heavily scripted as some of these other superstars. Whereas maybe somebody like Aaliyah, who is new from NXT, some of her promos so far, backstage segments, seem heavily scripted. Again, not a big deal. If you watch WWE, having a reference to AEW, WWE knew what they were doing here. And that's why, here's the thing. Liv Morgan delivered this promo and it didn't generate any emotion out of me, right? Like, I didn't think anything about it because I just don't believe it was the best promo, in my personal opinion. I also don't think this reference to AEW made anybody feel bad. So because it didn't draw any emotion, it didn't make anybody feel bad, it just kind of flopped. But here's the thing. Liv Morgan is somebody I think could be a great women's champion in WWE. And the fact that it's come out that this was scripted, honestly, let her go unscripted. Let her talk about this. Hey, talk about why the Riot Squad didn't get pushed. Hey, the Riot Squad didn't get pushed, but the man got pushed. I think that's where WWE could get people hooked in. This particular promo didn't. WWE knew what they were doing. They took it off of YouTube because they wanted people to think that Liv Morgan went off script. That is my belief. I believe that's what they did, which is great. I mean, it's a great business decision because a lot of people thought she went off script. I just don't think this promo did anything for me, despite the fact that I think Liv Morgan could be a great champion. And I think a lot of people will get behind Liv Morgan. Just lay off the script. It's not that hard. Guys, WWE just made a groundbreaking announcement on the NIL. If you guys are not familiar with what this is a new program that WWE has created to provide a clear pathway for collegiate athletes to WWE. So we saw Gable Steveson, he signed with WWE through this program, and basically there was a press release that came out. Triple H, he returned. He returned for this press release. He came out and basically gave a little bit more in-depth value to this announcement. And he goes, basically, there are certain people that are going to go through this program. They're not going to get paid a lot because maybe they're not bringing an Olympic gold medal to the table. So WWE has in mind a way right here. I think in the long term, this is going to get rid of the performance center in the sense of recruiting. I think this is going to be the biggest way WWE recruits talent because they can sign collegiate athletes on the low. So students that are in college who are collegiate athletes will be able to make a little bit of money just to survive through college. So again, this is not a financial risk to WWE. But on top of that, WWE is now in a situation where they are able to develop talent for a cheap price and bring them to TV later on, if they choose to, once these people graduate, whatnot. WWE is very much taking the NBA and the NFL approach, because if you guys watch collegiate sports, the NCAA basketball tournament, the college football, college hockey, they all have a way to get drafted in the NBA, NHL, and NFL, stuff like that, right? Now there is something for college athletes to get brought up into WWE. And I think this is actually a brilliant recruiting effort by WWE, but it goes to show you that WWE is no longer in the interest of bringing in former wrestlers. Now, I want to be very clear here, because I know some people are going to be very, very, very upset about this, but there are a plethora of WWE stars that were collegiate athletes. So let's just kind of go through the list. Brock Lesnar, Chad Gable, Kurt Angle, Shelton Benjamin, Bianca Belair, Dolph Ziggler, Charlotte Flair, Roman Reigns, The Rock, Braun Breaker. And that is just scratching the surface. That came from Rafael Garcia on Twitter. He confirmed that. So just to give you some ideas, this is not the first time WWE has signed collegiate level athletes. I think AEW sees a great opportunity in this as well. I think the idea of collegiate athletes getting paid is a great thing, and the idea of them coming to AEW or WWE could be a really good thing. There should be a foundation for collegiate athletes who want to go into pro wrestling. And I think WWE announcing it first is a big deal. Do not be shocked if AEW makes the announcement as well at some point in the future. Now I want to talk about Jim Ross, because as you guys know that Jim Ross is taking time away from AEW due to his skin cancer treatment. He's going through radiation, and he does have plans to come back by the end of the month. Now, of course, Tony Khan and Jim Ross are both in agreement. They have a game plan for this, but everybody was wondering what will happen with Jim Ross being gone, because there was rumors at some point that Jim Ross was just going to go part-time anyways, which so far has not happened. However, last night on Dynamite, AEW did something that I thought was very unique, and I think this is going to be the new plan, because basically AEW has not announced otherwise. So we saw Adam Hangman Page on commentary, and we are seeing other stars filling in for commentary throughout the night. This is a fantastic way to get your performers ready to speak, call the action, talk on the mic, cut a promo, and still be involved in the show without, one, being overexposed, or two, being in the ring, being in a throwaway match that doesn't make sense. Tony Khan went even as far as having Hangman Page banned from getting physical with Bryan Danielson during Allen Angels, because Hangman Page could get fined if he chooses to slap him or hit him or whatever it may be. But on top of that, that's how AEW gets people excited, because Hangman Page was at the commentary table, walks down, he still doesn't go and hit Brian Danielson, but what he does do is go face to face. They're trading shots on the mic, and that is why AEW, doing this on a weekly basis, having different people fill in, still allows AEW to tell the story without taking too much time from the other stories. And I think that right there is freaking incredible. Now, obviously, when Jim Ross comes back, it will be interesting to see what they do going forward. Will this lead to a permanent change? I don't know. But I do like this idea right now where a third person on commentary could actually go and swap out every few minutes, you know? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Again, I'm keeping you up to date with all the latest news in wrestling. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace.